You want a strong 7. 10, fine, everything like that, got it going on. Too much maintenance. A 9, that's a problem too. Because you got enough people telling her she's a 10, so half of them acting that way. Ones that ain't acting that way still require more from you. Here's where the strong 7 comes in. Looks-wise, she can compete with an 8. But her mentality is not that of an 8. So she's more appreciative of you wanting her. Therefore, she treats you like she wants you.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Bad Decisions, where we watch people make
bad decisions.
It's your boy, Sherm.
It's your man, Jay.
So let me put out some fires before they start. I know some people might get mad at Stephen A for rating people. Everybody rates someone. It might not just be on a scale. A woman might rate the guy who's got a Lamborghini different from the guy who only has muscles and no job, different from the guy who's got a great personality and nothing else.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, so I'm happy you're putting this fire out ahead of time because we know what this topic can do on the interwebs. I do want to also say, to bring it strictly to physicality, because Stephen A is specifically talking about a 1 to 10 scale on physical features. Women do that too. It's not just men. Yes, men biologically, I guess, from studies are shown to be more focused on the physical than women are. But it doesn't mean that women don't judge on the physical, and we all know what I'm talking about. So let's not pretend that that's not the case, just to put it out there first as a disclaimer before we go any further. I agree with Stephen A's overall point. I think 9 out of 10 times what he's saying is spot on, no pun intended. What I think the problem is, I will say, is that social media has seemed to skew things like it has with a lot of stuff. Financially, relationship-wise, and this is another example of it. Making average-looking people rank themselves higher than they actually are. Myself included, well, I don't say myself included, but meaning that I'm not trying to say I'm above average. I'm saying that this is what I'm noticing on social media. So you might have someone who's average who, because they watch so much content, think they deserve someone who's way above average, which kind of throws off the dating market. So, but to Stephen A's point, it might actually be a good thing if people pursued people that were at their ranking or maybe even a little bit below to avoid a headache, so to speak, to put it politely.
Average is not an insult.
And average is not an insult at all. Most of us are average. Most of us fall within that, within that 5 to 7 range-ish, 4 to 7 range.
I think Stephen A. Smith spoke a lot of truths. Looks aren't everything. As a man, the way a highly attractive woman can make you feel can be intoxicating sometimes. But that does not mean that she's the best for you. A lot of men are willing to tolerate BS from women just based on the way that they look. In fact, there's some men that I know that their relationships feel like prison, and they actually look like prison. But they tolerate it because they feel like, okay, well, this is the most attractive woman I've been able to come across, and I'm never gonna find a more attractive woman than that. Even though if he probably looked, he might not find a woman that's as attractive as the woman he's starstruck over, but he probably find a woman who's a better quality, who's got a better personality for him. It's funny. The other day, I was watching this dating show. I can't remember the name of the dating show. Something, love, whatever. You know, they just be throwing love in the title. But I was watching a dating show, and in the dating show, this woman, I would consider she's pretty extremely attractive. This guy was very attracted to her, but she didn't have the best personality. Why, you might ask? Well, when this guy was talking to her, they're on a date, they're at a restaurant, and the guy was asking just simple questions like, hey, why'd you decide to move here? Because the woman, I think she was from the Midwest, and she came to Atlanta for whatever reason. But she was giving him very short, brief answers, right? So he'd ask, why'd you come here? She'd say, new location. He'd say, oh, so what's your favorite kind of restaurant to go to? I don't know. He tolerated that date for about 45 minutes until he just threw his hands up. If that woman would have looked half as attractive or would have been something he deemed average looking, he wouldn't have stayed there for 5 minutes. Moral of the story, looks is not always worth it. And that's Stephen A's point. You don't have to have a supermodel to have a good woman who will probably treat you right. I have to agree with him.
So as you were talking, it made me think about something, because Stephen A is talking about, I wonder what perspective Stephen A is taking this from. Is he rating himself? I wonder where Stephen A rates himself, because Stephen A, as we all know, is obvious, a very highly successful man. Highly.
Yeah.
A lot of money, a lot of status, right? Everything, even, I mean, as far as looks go, I'll let you guys be the judge. He's not ugly. He's not Chris Hemsworth, but on all accounts, he can qualify for a 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah.
Right?
And his version of probably 8 or 9 or 10 is probably way different than ours.
Exactly. So, with all that being said, let's just take it strictly on a looks perspective. I wonder if Stephen A. No offense, Stephen A. We're in the same boat. If he looked like, let's say, I don't know, Idris Elba. I wonder if Idris Elba has the same trouble with 8, 9s, and 10s that Stephen A. is stating. Because I'm wondering if it comes down to parity. If it's 2 8s, if it's an 8 with an 8 or a 9 with a 9.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, or 8 with a. Yeah. Does that change the dynamic versus if it's a 5 with a 9 and the only reason the 5's with that 9 is because he's got mad money like a Bezos, for example? I wonder if that changes things. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes down to what women would rate Stephen A. Smith.
Right.
Which, as a guy, I don't know.
But
because as a guy, we judge objectively. Like, is he a tall, masculine-looking dude? Normally, we're gonna be like, okay, that's what every girl wants. But I've met some girls that have some very distinct, obscure taste. Like, I know this one girl where she was like, I like a certain beard length. And it wasn't like a regular, normal beard length. It was like an odd one. Mm. Like it was like this, and the proportions are like that. Like, it was just something you don't see every day.
Yeah, see, those are outliers. We'll throw those out. That's like we're using median instead of an average. Because you throw average and it throws everything off.
No, I'm just saying that there are women that have, like, certain quirks.
Yeah.
That would be...
No, but I'll go back to what you said before. We're going to go with what most women want. Tall, a good-looking face, and specifically talking about physical, not money, status, all that's different. But physical. Tall, good-looking face, and those are the two main ones. Maybe, fit body, maybe. I know some women like dad bods. Let's say fit, not like jacked. That kind of stuff. Off of that, I mean, but we're not going to sit here and rate Stephen A. anyways. So yeah. the point
this ain't that kind of video. This ain't that kind of channel.
Yeah, so, I mean, we don't know. But my point is with parody, right? Yeah. You have a supermodel, right? She's, again, and even for me, I'm not even really a big fan of supermodel look, but that's what a lot of people hold up to be as the, that's what we gotta go off of.
Well, nowadays it's like everybody's a model. How many girls say that they're a model now?
You know what Drake said? What did he say? If you haven't been
in Vogue, you're not a model.
Well, let's say this then. So we'll use actresses and actors because people.
Cool. Yeah.
So we'll say Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Tall, kind of muscular. Women think he has an attractive face. He has an accent too. And I know women like deeper voices. His voice is kind of deep. So he checks all the boxes there. Yeah. How would he do with a woman like a young Halle Berry? And this is not to say no shade to older women, but in Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood, they're doing the Leonardo DiCaprio.
They rank women and men differently.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's kind of reversed. Older men are viewed as being more sex appeal versus let's say young Halle Berry and Idris Elba. Let's see. Well, Halle Berry's a little crazy too. My point is getting way too crazy out here, but you get my idea about parody, right?
Yeah.
You get my overall point. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
All right. So ultimately, do I think Stephen A. Smith made a good decision? Yes. I think Stephen A. needs to give more advice, and he needs to give more advice to more athletes because they keep doing dumb stuff. So good decision, Stephen A. Smith.
Good decision, Stephen A. I like the last point you made. On his podcast, Stephen A. has gotten really real, and I like it. Obviously, on ESPN, he has to walk the tightrope a little bit. I get all that. So, but yeah, good decision. Good decision.
All right, guys. If you think Stephen A. made a good decision, leave a like, leave a comment. If you think Stephen A. made a bad decision, leave a like, leave a comment. All right, decision makers. We make great decisions. We're out.